Ethan Hawke wanted to share his point of view on the issue of monogamy. And if you can remember, he actually got a divorce back in 2004 from Uma Thurman after he was accused of cheating on her with their nanny. Now, he vehemently denies that. He's like, no, there's no way. I never cheated on her, except he ended up marrying the nanny that he was accused of cheating with, Ryan Shawhughes. So that's a little questionable.
Oh, no, it's not questionable. Oh, here's what I have to say about that. Go on. Go.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you weren't having sex with a nanny, you happened to get a divorce, and then you happen to get married to the nanny, but you weren't having sex with her before.
It's
no
possible.
one believes that. No one believes that.
I know.
Just give it up already, okay?
All right, so whatever. Those juicy details are irrelevant. What's relevant is what he had to say about monogamy, because that is basically an ongoing debate among many people. Of course, we want to push monogamy. It's a societal expectation, but is it natural? And here's what Ethan Hawke has to say about it. People have such a childish view of monogamy and fidelity. He's cheated, so he's bad. She's cheated, so she's bad. As opposed to a recognition that our species is not monogamous.
Okay, so look, that's not a new idea, and we've discussed it on the show before. And I think it's a really interesting open question. But I like the second quote better.
Okay, so let's read a second quote. He says, "My relationship with my present wife is thrilling to me, and I'm committed to it. But neither she nor I know what shape the future will come in. Sexual fidelity can't be the whole thing you hang your relationship on."
And he says, if you really love somebody, you want them to grow, you don't get to define how that happens. They do, right? And so what I got out of that is him saying, look, the whole of my relationship and our love for each other is not predicated on whether we sleep with someone else or not, right? It's predicated on what I like about you and the relationship that we have. So on the other hand, I understand people saying, yeah, but you're violating that relationship when you bring someone else in. I understand both points here, but I think overall Ethan Hawke is right, okay?
Of course he's right. I think that it's a very childish and juvenile way to look at your relationship. If, say, everything is going wrong, you don't have respect for one another, you speak to each other in a negative way all the time, for instance. And then as long as neither one of you are sleeping with someone else, then your relationship is okay. No, there needs to be respect on all levels.
And the reverse is true. If you have a great relationship, you get along great, and you laugh at each other's jokes, you enjoy your conversations, you take care of the kids together, and one of you happens to sleep with someone else on a given night, does that mean that she secretly hated you, right? And that it was all a trick, so all those laughs were fake, and no, it just means that on that night she was horny, she had sex with another guy, and it doesn't mean she doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that your relationship is any worse than it was before. Now the problem is, it appears to be in our DNA that we get massively jealous.
We get massively jealous, and also I used to be one of those people who said, like, yeah, monogamy is a societal expectation. It's totally okay to be with someone that you love, and if one strays once in a while, it's not a big deal. It's just sex, right? But there are certain changes in your brain when you have sex with someone else. And I think my fear is that it might start off as just like a fling or sex, and then the dopamine spikes in your brain, and all of a sudden you're like developing feelings for someone that you initially just wanted to have sex with. So it gets a little more complicated than that. I would love to pretend as if humans are, evolved or smart enough to be like, all right, I'm going to go put it in, but then I'm done. No, a lot of people get attached, and that's problematic.
Yeah, that's the thing. All this could be resolved really easily if we didn't catch feelings, right?
We all catch feelings with jealousy, envy, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and so if sex was just sex,
oh, yeah.
Oh, over. Like, yeah, of course, have at it. Who cares, right?
It's the emotional connection that sucks.
Right, but people catch feelings, and then shit gets messy, right? And so it's a tough question, man. And I know there's a whole side that says, no, there's no part of us that's monogamous. It's total societal expectations. There's no side of us that's naturally jealous. That's societal expectations. I just flat out don't believe that. I don't believe it. I believe there's a side of us that is wildly polygamous, wants to have sex all the time for men and women. There's also a side of us who wants to, raise a child together and and it's all very complicated, and who is territorial.
Yes.
And thinks, well, I want it to be my child. That's in our DNA. That's why our dick is shaped like a shovel. I mean, literally, we've had this conversation.
It's supposed to push other semen out of the vagina.
Right.
It's insane.
Okay, that's inter vagina competition. You think there's not outer vagina competition outside the vagina? Of course there is. Of course you get jealous.
I love that phrase, outer vagina competition.
You get jealous because you want it to be your kid, not somebody else's kid. That's how we're programmed, right? So both things are true. That's why life is a mess. Okay? And that's why sometimes you sleep with the nanny and then would like to sleep with someone other than the nanny after you marry her.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, man.